Here we go. We're recording. It is October 22nd. And a couple things that I really want to share with you guys. Susan and John, one or two of them are supposed to be popping on, and I'm going to have them share a little bit about our leadership group and what we talked about last night. I'm like, this is so perfect for our mastermind group, coaching group here. But the other thing I want to share with you guys while we wait for Susan to pop on is I have been talking behind the scenes with Lori Olson, who wants to start a new business group for really serious people. And there's going to be prerequisites, and she's not ready to talk about it yet on the mastermind call, but I just want to give you guys a heads up because what we're going to be training on are a lot of the principles in this book. Have you guys heard about the 45-second presentation by Don Falia? Have you read it, Gina?
No.
No? So did you hear us talk about it? Did we talk about it on the call?
Susan Miller talked about it at Super Saturday, and I've heard it before too.
Okay, so the Australians and people from New Zealand are using this technology, this kind of system, and basically, I'm trying to see if there's like a quick synopsis I can give you. It's a couple that are huge in network marketing, and I'm not sure if they're still here. I mean, they're an older couple if they're still here. I actually YouTubed them this morning, and I was listening to a presentation that they gave on YouTube. But they started with 4 distributors, and they had over 800,000 in less than 16 years. And they're all about easy systems that are very easy to duplicate. I'm talking those of you that just joined us about the 45-second presentation. So what you guys want to do is make sure you get this book and get it read. I'm not quite sure of the timing yet of the new group. We're working on that. Lori wants to have all her ducks in a row before she presents it to the whole mastermind group. But giving you guys a heads up, if you don't have this ordered yet, get it ordered. I know that Tyler was at home visiting last week. We had some launch parties together, and he saw, actually the book came, Scott started reading it before I even knew it had arrived. He was loving it. Then Tyler came home. Tyler grabbed it, read the whole book, and I finally got it back, Sunday after everybody was done with reading the book. And I'm only a couple of chapters in, and I'm loving it. But Tyler, are you able to unmute?
We went through that with our Success Tribe.
Oh, you've already done it.
That was one of their required tasks.
Okay. All right. So you've already done this. Is there anything you want to share about it, Alex?
It's just a different way to look at things, I guess, as you try and lead more with the business. I thought it was great to get your head in the right frame of mind. I took a lot of notes. I feel like I kind of read it too fast, so I probably need to go back and read it again, but definitely a bonus.
Yeah. Tyler, you want to share why you were so fired up about it?
Yeah. I think it's a little different way to look at things, but I think it can relate. I think we can take a little bit of that and combine it with what Isogenics already does, because Isogenics is very product first. Our team's very product first, but I don't know that he's necessarily saying like lead with the business all the time. He's just saying that the only real point for you if you want to build successful residual income, the only point in bringing on a bunch of customers is to hopefully have them have a great product experience that leads to referrals that could lead to one of your series 5. That was kind of my biggest takeaway, was like, don't get lost in the art of just selling packages and getting a ton of customers and thinking that's going to lead to some massive residual income, because if you're only one level deep, it's not going to be residual. I think it really switched the way I thought about things. Like, if you find 5 people that are serious, rather than spending all your time trying to find another 105 people to add, spend most of your time helping those 5 dig deep, and then those 5 dig deep. And if you do that, then you have serious depth, serious residual income, and like the wealth that we're all looking for, which is why we're doing this business. So, and he didn't say don't sell product. He just said that's your focus, and along the way, share the products with people, just like we like to do. And everybody loves these products and loves to share them with people along the way. But some people don't love feeling like they have to be salesmen and go out and find all these people to enroll on the products. I love the way he thought about that. Like, you're sharing products along your journey, but your main focus is building that depth. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, and I think it will help so many people. I don't know if you guys get this, but I know with people that I personally coach, I do have some people that are really great at enrolling, but the conversion rate to getting people to business builders seems to be a hang up for a lot of people. And then the other thing that I hear a lot of is I'm not attracting business builders. And so I don't think this is a, don't talk about the product concept, but what this is it's not, I'm thinking of a good friend in Isogenics of mine who's enrolled 900 people. And then I shared with you Susan Miller. She enrolled 200 and she has 100,000 in her organization. So her team is doing this philosophy, and I'm just so fired up to interview her tonight. So you guys, I hope you're all on the call and you get your team there, because she's going to get everybody fired up. But anyway, for those of you that haven't read the book yet, get the book. Have your team get the book so they're ready to go. It's going to be a prerequisite to joining the new business group when it comes out. So you guys should be on track for that and stay ahead of the game. The next thing I wanted to chat about was I thought of you guys last night when we were on our leader call. So we've got a group of people going through a Growth You program. It's a 45-day program all about leadership. And what's really cool is that a lot of people that are in the group, I honestly think the reason they joined was because they wanted to feel more like a leader. So they know that they are, because they're enrolling people and they're doing Isogenics as a business, but they don't necessarily view themselves as a leader, or maybe not a powerful leader or an influential leader. So I was going to ask either Susan or John if either one of you guys wanted to share anything that we talked about last night. Because as we went through our call last night, I'm like, oh my gosh, this would be so perfect for this 12 o'clock group, in particular of all the groups that I talked to. Would either one of you guys want to share any of your insight from last night's call?
John looks frozen to me.
Yeah, me too.
He was so great. John led the call last night. Oh, there you are. You're in two different spots. Do you want to share?
Yeah, hold on. Pulling over because my service is pretty bad right now. What did Cindy just say? Because I completely missed it.
That's all right. We saw you froze up. I just wanted to know if you would share some of the insight from last night's call. I thought it was so powerful and would be really helpful for this group.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we kind of just talked about last week in our program was all about building new habits. And I kind of compared it to my story of when I decided I wanted to win Isobody. And my mom made a funny reference to it, which I'll bring up. But, it's once I decided I want to do that, obviously the vision is the underlying foundation for everything, is knowing where you want to go and just already being that person long before you get there. But even more important is identifying the old habits you have, because they're self-destructive. They're not serving you and you need to get rid of them. But then once you identify them, replace them with the ones that are going to be serving you and are going to get you to where you want to go. And, with my Isobody challenge, my old habits were, drinking a little bit too much, going out and partying, having too much fun, going across the street, getting breakfast sandwiches at Chick-fil-A. And I was like, well, if I want to really get that body, I want those abs I want, then I can't be doing that stuff. And so I replaced it. And I was saying how, every day, like it was broken down to how I would eat. I would wake up, I'd have a shake every morning, a piece of toast and peanut butter. I'd have a bar. I'd have pasta and chicken. I'd have eggs with chicken sausage, broccoli. I'd have another shake at night and another pack of whey thins. And that was literally every single day. And at first, it sucked. Like, it was just like, I woke up and I didn't look forward to it at all. I wanted to go back to eating the breakfast sandwiches and eating all the junk food that I wanted before. But after a certain amount of time, you're just so used to it and it just becomes part of you. And I'd wake up every day and it would already be like, I would just do it without even thinking after a while. And, it's so hard in the beginning, but if you just consistently do the little things, especially when you don't want to, then they become part of you and become part of your identity. And then that's where you make that huge change. And what my mom said last night, it's so important that you do them every single day. Because we were talking, she's like, guys, you need to understand, you have to do these things every single day. You can't just skip it for a few days and then wake up in one morning and eat 8 pieces of toast with peanut butter. And we were all dying laughing, but it's the truth. You can't skip days and not build the habits daily and expect to get the results. You need to do those things every single day, and then you'll get those long-term results. And for our businesses, it's contacting people, it's prospecting, it's working with your leaders, and it's becoming a better leader ourselves. So I thought it was a really good call last night too. And I hope a lot of people got a lot out of it, and it's just doing the daily work is really what it comes down to.
Yeah, and we had a lot of great shares last night, and how it was really, people were starting to really identify themselves as a leader and have more confidence, and it was really cool to hear all that. Did you want to add anything, Susan?
I was just going to say, it's interesting to me leading this group, how many people that are in the group that don't feel like they're leaders. And, you know, of course, we enroll a couple people and we become a leader. We're a consultant. And then, you know, we become whatever, you know, rank we advance to. All of us here are executives, and we have people in the group that are executives that don't feel like a leader, or people that are earning a six-figure income and they don't feel like they're an authentic leader. And, you know, it really is pretty interesting to, you know, to see that and try to help people, you know, through and understanding that, you know, building different habits that can make them feel like a stronger leader. You know, sometimes we just feel like we don't even know what we're doing. You know, we're just kind of going through and we're, you know, making it up as we go along. But there's a lot of, you know, identifying those habits. And when John gave his, when he talked last night about IsaBody, it made sense to, I think, a lot of people how, you know, obviously if we're going to change our body and we have a goal like that, we need to do something every single day. And, you know, when you mess up, you're going to see the ramifications of messing up. But as a leader, we just kind of, I don't know, we feel like it just happens maybe, and we don't stick with a plan and kind of really try to change things, or if something's not working to tweak it, but we do understand that with other things. So I think it was really, it's been interesting for me to hear that. And even myself, you know, different things that I'm learning going through it, like procrastination is a big one for me, because I'll sit on something and wait. And, you know, so I just found it really kind of interesting how we're all kind of the same, but you have to kind of look at things differently.
Right, right. And so you guys know, like, as we're coaching our clients with the products, you know, we're trying to instill in them daily habits of using all of their products every single day. I mean, how many of you guys have coached a product user that has had a bad day and gone off the program, and you're trying to encourage them, get back on track? And how many of you have experienced someone not getting back on track the next day, and then they lose a whole week? How about a whole month? How about, I've had a couple people that have been with me for 6 years plus, and I'll check in with them every few months, and they'll say to me, back on track. And I didn't even know they were off track. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And these are people that have a lot of weight to lose, and they start and then they stop, and then they start and then they stop. And then you see the Jen Gardners on our team who lose 130 pounds because they're so committed. They're not gonna screw up. They're not gonna miss a day. They log every single thing they eat in their Fitness Pal every single day, and they're so committed. So we have to use that mentality when we talk about our business, and we cannot miss a day. We just cannot miss a day. Guys, when I travel, wherever I go, I'm never completely unplugged. I may not post as much on Facebook. I may not, you know, be checking in quite as much with everybody as I do when I'm home for a period of time, but there is never a time that I'll take a long stretch and I'll unplug from my business, because consistency, if we've learned nothing else, consistency as a leader is one of the most important things we can do. And you see that when you have people that have watched you. I just was a guest on Dr. Del Rey's call last night for her people really wanting executive. And so she was a really great question asker. It was a really good interview. If I can get a copy of it, I'll share it in ISA for Wealth. She's really good at asking questions, and she was asking me all these questions. And, you know, the bottom line that, you know, we kept coming back to is, for the people that really, really want this, it is those daily activities that you're doing that are going to make or break your success in this business. So when you're feeling like cycles are low, what do you have control over? What is it that you can do that can help bring those cycles up? When you're feeling like you don't have enough people running with you and you're looking for more leaders, what do you have control over that you can change? So let's talk about that. Let's shout out some of the things that you guys want changed in your business. Anybody willing to be vulnerable enough to share that? What do you want changed?
For me, I want to be enrolling more people.
Enrollments.
Consistently.
Yep.
For me, it was the type of people I was attracting and total posture, mindset change, and having business conversations with non-business people can be the most frustrating thing ever. So I think that's what I was doing for a very long time. I was enrolling product users, and I had the analogy the other day that I was inviting everybody to a basketball game, and I was saying, oh, you guys want to come watch a basketball game? Then at halftime, I'm like, oh, who wants to play? No one wanted to play. If I had invited some basketball players to the basketball game, I bet you some people would get on the floor. So
that is a great analogy, Gina.
That was my whole revelation.
That is a great analogy. So we want to talk to the people we want to attract, right? So often when I'm coaching with someone, I'll ask them, who are you looking to attract? Who do you want to attract? And I don't know if you guys remember me talking about this, but when I was coaching with Jeffrey Combs several years ago, he literally made me do this exercise when I was going to sleep at night. He wanted me to close my eyes after I did my normal, bedtime routine stuff, close my eyes and literally visualize who I wanted to attract into my business. And he kind of would ask me questions. Is it a female? Is she carrying a briefcase? How much does she weigh? What does she look like? Really, really get crystal clear on what you want to attract into your business. And I did it. And it really was astounding to me. So yeah, if we're wanting to attract business builders, we want to be talking to people who understand business, who are successful. And that's one of the things that Susan Miller does very well. And Gina was part of that training with us last week and got to hear that. So I love that analogy, Gina. That was awesome. All right. And enrollment.
I thought that was genius, Gina. And I want to bring that back to what we talked about at the beginning with the book. It's the same, using that same analogy, we're product driven. We want people to have physical results. But if you focus on finding good basketball players and you get good people on the court, then the stands fill up and then more people come. That's the product users. That's an awesome analogy. I think I'm going to use that forever now. Focus on finding, the people that are going to play the game and get results that people want to be a part of. And then the stands will fill up. So that's where I'm at too with Gina. I need, if I want to do this and build this to where I want to be, I need better basketball players and the audience will fill up on its own. So finding those people and targeting that and then helping those people, develop their skills and help them get off the ground rather than just enrolling and then on to the next. Help them get off the ground and then the game will start to take care of itself and the crowd will fill up. I love that.
Yeah, I love it too. And, I'll look at people in my downline. You know how we're always taught to do that, right? We go through our downline reports and we're looking at people in our downline, and I'll see some really great enrollers that enroll a ton of people and they're cycling 3, 4, 5 times a week. And then I'll see people who aren't great enrollers, but their cycles are, 10, 15 times a week. And it's really because the people that they've enrolled are sharing with other people. It's that, looking for 5 people to share with 5 people to share with 5 people. So it's just a mind shift. And we're not saying you don't want to enroll. I mean, Susan's saying she wants to enroll people, but if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to speak your words, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Susan, but my feeling is she probably wants to enroll more people because she wants basketball players. She wants to enroll the player and not the person in the stands and try to invite them out. So I'm right? Yeah. And so now we're looking a little bit differently. Beth and I were chatting before everybody got on, and she's running up against a lot of keto people that, that's their excuse. So maybe we don't want to look for the keto people that are looking for a quick fad and something like that. Maybe we need to level up and look for the basketball players, Beth. Maybe that'll help you with what we were talking about earlier too, Anyone else? A challenge a habit maybe that you want to change? A challenge that we can maybe look at together.
Cindy, when you say dig through your reports, I mean, I've done that too. And for example, one of Bill's high school friends, teammates, has been using the products for 6 months. It was totally for weight loss and everything. And I messaged him the other day. I said, can we jump on a video call for half an hour so I can tell you how this business works? I don't know why I don't usually do that, but I did. And we have a call tomorrow at 12. I did the same thing with one of my college friends who he owns, 3 businesses, but we sat down, we had lunch. He's like, this is a really interesting business model. These guys have never heard of network marketing. They're already successful in business. And it's so fun to have conversations with these people versus I've always tried to focus on people that have done a business before. And that is very hard to transition some of those people. And etc. So I don't know. I'm looking at my reports differently. I'm looking at people differently. And that's my approach. And like myself, like Tiffany, we didn't come for the products, but we absolutely love the products. And they will too. And I know that. They're athletes, they're people that are getting older that want to use the product. So I can't emphasize it enough. And I don't know why I had such a block on it, but I did.
Well, as long as it's gone. I mean, everything is timing, right? And I think that, when we go through our own struggles in this business, the highs, the lows, the no's, when we go through that, it just helps us be better coaches to our team. And honestly, like you guys have heard me say a million times, how I actually boast about the fact that I'm on an inside leg, because I can say to people when they complain to me, if so-and-so was helping me more and placing people underneath me, I'd be further along. And I can't tell you how many people compare themselves to other leaders on our team that are growing faster than them or quicker than them. And it's so frustrating to me. I'm like, don't compare yourself to anyone but yourself. Are you doing more today than you did yesterday? Are you better now than you were a month ago? Just work on yourself. Have blinders on. Only look at what you're doing, and are you getting better, and are you attracting the people you really want to attract into your business? And it's a timing thing, and so sometimes we have to make a lot of mistakes, and sometimes we miss things for a long time. But Gina, if you're getting it now and you're not afraid to talk to those people now, it's never too late. And that's the thing that I absolutely love about this business, is it's never too late to go back to people, even people we might have enrolled 6 years ago, and say, you know what, I have been remiss in sharing with you this amazing business opportunity. You've been a faithful product user for so long, and I would love 15 minutes of your time to show you the opportunity you have in your back office. Can we set up a Zoom, a time to Zoom next week? And just go over it with them. If they're not interested, they're not interested. But so often people say, when I show people how many team members they have, they're like, what? I don't know any of those people. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's one of the added benefits of this business. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before. You get paid on people that are complete strangers for you if you take advantage of this compensation plan. So I think that's awesome. Any other comments or questions, guys? Things that are working for
Cindy,
you.
I want to comment on that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what's working, but, I talk about how, when you first found me and you had me come to your house, and like, as soon as you showed me what I needed to do, it was like, I got to be better at doing that. I don't know what different per se, but the fact that maybe you took the time out of your day and broke it down for me, handed me those sheets, and I don't know.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I definitely think that.
Oh, I don't know if she meant to mute herself again. Did you mean to mute yourself again?
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that other than
just me showing you what was possible was what was helpful for you.
I think so. I mean, obviously I was enrolling people before I knew there was a business attached. I just had them all placed on one side because the computer automatically did that to me. But, I feel like I'm trying to do that for people, and I'm sending them, when people aren't local to you and you can't meet with them face to face, like maybe you're right, getting them on a Zoom, but I have a harder time getting people even on a phone call to let me coach them than anything. So I don't know how to bridge the gap, to actually show people what's available to them.
Yeah. And not
they'll complete the,
Go ahead. They'll complete what?
They'll complete the, becoming an associate, and that they have to watch the You Share, They Share video. But as far as them actually like talking to people and sharing with people, people will say to me, well, nobody's noticed. And I'm like, well, you have to talk to people. You have to share it. Like it's one of those things. So.
Yeah. And I know what's working for a lot of people is builders that are helping them share their first post. So asking people, would you be open to putting something on Facebook if I help you create your first post? And a lot of people, say, yes, I would love that, because they look at some of our posts, and we've got some really great social media people on our team. Like if someone saw Alex's post, they might be like, oh my gosh, I could never do that. Well, how about if I show you how to do that? How about if I help you with your first post? And it will look like that. We can make it look really great like that. You know, I think a lot of people are afraid. So helping them see the vision of what's possible is so important. I can't stress that enough. And then our consistency. And that's one thing I tell you, if Sarah's got one thing going for her, it's absolute consistency. Her cycles are consistent every week. Even like when there's a shake week, she'll have a spike, but it's not like she goes down and plummets the next week. She's very consistent week after week after week. And it's because she's doing those activities on a daily basis. It has become a habit for her, just like exercise, just like eating shakes. You know, it becomes, like John was saying earlier, when you do it often enough and you create the habit before you know it, it's your identity. I can't go more than 1 or 2 days without working out. I cannot physically do it. 2 is about my max, and then I'll lose my ever-loving mind. It's my identity now. It is absolutely my identity. It's the same thing for the business. I can't go too long without talking to people. I can't go too long without coaching people, without sharing my passion for the products, sharing my passion for the business, or I feel like I'm going to lose my mind. It's my identity. So that's where we want everybody to be, where you're in a state of, I have got to share this. I feel obligated to share this. I'm looking for those. Not only am I looking for those basketball players, I want an Olympic team. I want an Olympic team of players that are, you know, how about a full ride college player? Let's at least go there. Start there. You know, let's do that. So look for those diamonds in the roughs. The diamond in the rough, look for them. They're easier to mentor because they get it. They get the business side of things. The products will just fall in place. Tell them how much they need to order and they'll order it if they see the business. So I hope that's been helpful to you guys. Any other comments before we close and head over to the mastermind call? All right, so guys, homework, make sure if you don't already have the book, order it. Get it read so you're ready to go. When we do start this business group, details will be coming on that. And I'll see you guys in just a minute on the mastermind call. Thank you guys for coming. I hope you got something good out of it.